after 55 minutes, we'll still have a solid recording of the Zoom meeting in its entirety, no matter, regardless how long the meeting lasts.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make you aware of that the streaming will stop at 4:55 p.m.
Got it. Thank you.
And sure. And am I making you host?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure. And there you go. And it is 4 o'clock, and we are currently streaming on our Boxcast stream and on our social stream as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Looks like the last few people are joining. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share you this. All right, so we're going to run through this. Can everyone see my screen? Okay. Let me... Alrighty. So welcome. This is our first Ridge Street Priority Neighborhood Task Force meeting. This is only going to be an intro meeting to kind of get everyone familiar with the grant and the types of projects and priorities we'll be looking to address with the Ridge Street target area. So real quick, we're going to do attendance of the task force. In no particular order, I just have everyone listed here. I'm just going to call on your name. Oh my God. I'm just going to call on your name. If you could say if you are a resident, business owner, or a property owner of Ridge Street neighborhood target area, that'd be great. Or if you're on Planning Commission or the CDBG task force. So Audrey Oliver, I didn't think I saw her. Nope, okay. Chris Meyer.
Here, business owner.
Okay. Kathy Johnson Harris.
Here, property owner.
Thank you. Kim Leo Spalding.
Here, property owner.
Katie Repnick.
Hi, I am a resident of the Ridge Street area.
Perfect. Pat Lloyd. I think you're on mute.
Resident of Ridge Street neighborhood.
Awesome, thank you. And Tania Dowell. I don't think I saw her. Okay, that's fine. Tania is our Planning Commission representative, but we will continue. So this is our agenda for today. We're going to start off with the CDBG background. So CDBG, Charlottesville is an entitlement community. Each year we receive CDBG dollars and home dollars from HUD. CDBG stands for Community Development Block Grant. CDBG, the award we usually get each year ranges from $300,000 to $400,000 a year. And with that funding, we are supposed to address the 3 main objectives for CDBG, and that's to provide decent housing, suitable living environment, and economic opportunity. With those 3 objectives, every CDBG activity also has to address one of these national priorities for CDBG. So the priorities that the priority neighborhood would be addressing here would be the first and second one. The benefiting low to moderate income level people and to aid in the prevention or elimination of slum or blight neighborhoods. So with that in mind, we have our national CDBG objectives and priorities, and we also have our city objectives and priorities. So the Consolidated Plan, this is basically the overarching playbook that outlines the needs and concerns for the city of Charlottesville. We got all these needs and concerns piled up together through many community engagement activities, so public meetings, surveys that went out in 2017. This huge document basically shows the top concerns for the city of Charlottesville and what residents have identified. The priority neighborhood portion of the consolidated plan outlines what the funds are to be used for, and that's to enhance and improve access to neighborhood communities or neighborhood amenities, sorry. The neighborhood portion for the Charlottesville priority neighborhood is identified through census tract. And real quick, I'm going to show you the identified priorities in the consolidated plan. So that's everything not in italic. And I'm going to send you this PowerPoint too at the end.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then the priority neighborhoods on a map laid out looks like this. So this is HUD designated. We get an updated one every time there's a new census. This is from 2018 and we haven't been sent our new one yet. And Ridge Street is down there on the bottom. I have a zoomed up version.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the area we are looking at. So eligible activities for the Ridge Street priority neighborhood. Everything under the yes column would qualify. So public facilities improvements, this includes costs with public acquisition, construction, repair, or beautification to the neighborhood. Some examples include parks, libraries, pools, and then commercial or industrial rehab. So this is repair of buildings used for businesses and industrial purposes. If the repairs, they just need to benefit the targeted population as a whole. Removal of architectural barriers. So increasing accessibility is a big one for this category to either buildings or homes. This includes curb cuts, ramps, and accessible restrooms, so public restrooms. Infrastructure improvements. So this includes installation of curbs, gutters, sidewalks, streets, utilities, which will ultimately benefit the, again, targeted neighborhood or targeted population. Traffic calming measures are also included with infrastructure improvements, and that's been a big one too in the past. And then acquisition and clearance of real property. So this is purchase and preparation of property for future development, as long as it benefits the targeted neighborhood. So next, what is the role of the task force? So task force members, since you guys live in this area, I need your help in preparing detailed plans and priorities for the priority neighborhood. Basically, what you guys do is identify top concerns, and then we're going to work through this process to identify a potential project or projects with the funding we get. So for the next 3 fiscal years, FY 20, 21, and 22, the CDBG award that we get from HUD will have the priority neighborhood be designated as Ridge Street, and this was approved by council. Since our award changes from year to year, sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less. We have it estimated out for next year and the year before as $150,000. But for FY 20, we do have it confirmed that Ridge Street has $201,912.90. So overall, we're looking at a total of $701,912 or $912.90.
Great.
As a task force, we'll meet this fall and winter to list out the concerns that the task force brings forth. And we'll make recommendations and present this to the larger community. So we'll talk to community partners and talk to city staff to see what's legally doable. And then we will bring back those narrowed down priorities with everyone's edits to create one final list of projects.
Hey, Erin, I have a question. Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe you go.
Okay. I was just going to ask about the estimated total of the 701K. So does that mean that that 701 is the total that we have, or is it just the fiscal year 2021 funds that are available? Could you just maybe provide a little bit more detail on that, please?
So the confirmed amount for fiscal year 20 is the 201,912.90. That part is confirmed just because we know what our award is for this year. The next 2 years I have, the FY21 and FY22, that's estimated at 150,000. Once we get the actual award number, we'll have a better idea of what we're working with. We do have the 150,000 blocked off no matter what the award is, but that number could increase if the award is larger. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So then we should just be assuming that we'll operate within that $201,000 that are available for fiscal year 20 and 21, right?
Yes. And what task force have done in the past is they'll come up with one big project that uses all three funding streams, and the big project will get constructed, and then whatever's remaining afterwards will go towards another smaller project.
Aaron,
Thank you.
Yes.
this is Chris. I'm doing the math in my head,
Oh, God.
and I'm getting 501,000, not 701,000.
Yeah,
Did I just
Oh,
looking?
you're right. Yeah,
that's what I get.
you're right. Scratch that.
Which is all right. So it should be 501,000. Not.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great to have that extra 200K, but all right.
Yeah. Sorry, I must have miscalculated there.
All right, and sorry to call that out, but I just want.
No, you're good. I'm glad you did.
We can pretend.
So next, this is what the overall process and community engagement looks like. So conducting workshops, that's just us gathering information about the neighborhood. I have a little homework assignment for you guys later that we'll talk about. Basically, the task force is going to help me identify concerns and issues that affect the Ridge Street community. There we'll brainstorm priorities and solutions to those concerns. Next, we will meet with city staff and the community. So I know one big community partner is going to be CRHA. So staff is going to help us look at those priorities that you guys have put together and see what's legally doable. And then I'll help with the CDBG portion of it to see what will work with CDBG. Community partners will also offer insight about the community as a whole. And then from there, we'll refine that list, get the cost estimates for each project, and then work from there. Past projects. So I put a few down here just to give you an idea of what's happened. And then eligible task force priorities. So this is what previous task force members have brought forth as concerns in their neighborhood that would have been eligible for funding.
I can't read that.
You can make it bigger, Kim.
Okay. Well, that got smaller.
I'm just putting my fingers on it and stretching it.
I'm sorry.
I could also read through it. So it's sidewalk, crosswalk improvements or additions, homeowner rehabs, energy efficiency upgrades, playground equipment for Five-Field Park, neighborhood lighting improvements, neighborhood kiosk, sidewalk infill or construction, planting and landscaping, so beautification for the neighborhood, sidewalk widening or crosswalk installation, traffic calming projects, so installation of speed tables or traffic lighting, and bike lanes.
And these are priorities from other task force groups, not really. Okay, thank you.
No problem. And then just to give you a gauge of what $200,000 can buy, these are some examples of projects and their cost estimate.
Phew. Huh.
Now, what I have for you guys to do before our next meeting is this priorities worksheet. So I am going to stop sharing real quick. And now share this one. Okay. Do you guys see the Word document?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna zoom in.
Thank you.
No problem.
I don't know what size your computer is, but mine's not that big.
I have a dual screen, so it could be messing with the resolution or the size because of that.
Okay.
So we're going to identify the strengths, weaknesses, list any concerns or issues, and then possible solutions. And I think there's one more. Yeah, opportunities for revitalization and enhancement.
So what do you mean by opportunities on that last question?
This one?
Yeah.
So this one's looking at, is there anything that needs additional work to improve the area? Does that make sense? So any
Okay, now I understand.
Structure that could be bettered.
Yes, okay, got it. Thank you, Erin.
Mm-hmm. So for this worksheet, the more information you give, the better. We're going to bring this all together before, or I'm going to have you guys turn this into me a week before our next meeting next month. And I'll put it together in a list, and then we'll work through them one-on-one and see what's similar and what's different. I do encourage everyone to talk to their neighbors and anyone in the community that lives in that Ridge Street target area. I'm going to send that map again, but make sure you hear their input. All right.
I think unfortunately in this time of COVID, it's going to be a bit difficult to do that. You know, I've gone back to since 2014 and looked at the minutes from the Ridge Street Neighborhood Association meetings. And there's definite themes of things that need to be improved since then. So I probably will include some of that stuff. Okay. So it's not going to be contemporaneous, given that I can't go knocking on doors. Well, right. I shouldn't be knocking on doors. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty, any questions before we go to public comment?
I have a question just about the past projects that you had a slide about. For the homeowner rehabs, what exactly does that entail? In my mind, that could be a really broad range of different things, and I just want to make sure that I understand that for any recommendations in the future.
So these are structural improvements. We can't fund anything. We can't fund any beautification or luxury improvements within a home, but items like roof repair or window treatment that we could do with CDBG, anything structural and necessary for the homeowner.
Plumbing replacement. My neighbor across the street had a lot of work done. It was wonderful.
Yes.
And she's, I don't know, 98.
That's awesome.
And so all of a sudden she has new plumbing and I think new wiring too. And by the way, the labor is free.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
But Erin, does the homeowner, are there guidelines financially that the homeowner has to meet?
Yes, so they do have to be from that low income.
Okay, thank you.
Erin, Regarding some of the housing that's boarded up and not being occupied, and I guess it's in various states of being owned by people out, that left town or obviously left the neighborhood. Is there examples of how this funding has been used to, I guess, would that be called rehabilitate or bring it back into use?
I can check. I'm sure we have something somewhere, but I can talk with staff and see if anything like that's been done in the past.
Is that something like a partnership with Habitat or, again, somehow to, I just know next to our building is a boarded up house and a couple other, basically, I wouldn't say every block, but almost every other block seems to have a boarded up house that, considering the housing situation concern and the comment by Councilor Payne, wanting to use things to resolve also the housing challenges in the broader town potentially, but also affordable housing issues, stuff like that. Anyways, thanks.
Yep, we can definitely make sure you add that to your list first of all, and then we'll check to see what projects have been done in the past.
I have something to say. Having served on several boards and commissions, one of the things that we need to be very careful about is mentioning people's names and addresses, because that also turns people off for possibly asking for something if we point out who they are. So we need to think about keeping addresses and names private.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Anything else from the task force?
Just building on what Chris suggested, which I think is a great idea, given what we know about affordable housing in this town, if some of the boarded up abandoned homes could be repurposed for low income folks, I would hope that the city would get behind that.
It's my understanding that that at least one of the houses along here was bought by the city, but then nothing got done after that. So just something to look into.
Cam, are you talking about the house, the big yellow house next to the Leap House?
No, actually, not that one. There's two more coming down Ridge Street that are boarded up, have been ever since I've lived here. And but I don't know which one. People kept saying the address, but I don't remember which one it was. I just remember that the city bought one of them, but nothing's ever, I kept waiting for something to happen, but nothing's ever happened. I mean, if somebody's paying the taxes on those things, that's, how to trace it.
I know we did a housing partnership activity with one of the priority neighborhoods in the past with CRHA to provide down payment assistance to that target area. So I'm sure something could be done about the rehab. We just have to be careful and make sure that the project that we choose does benefit the community as a whole, for the Ridge Street community.
Yes.
Okay. Any more questions?
Nope.
Before I open it up to public comment. Okay. Anyone from the public who would like to speak at this time, please raise your hand and I can call on you. We have 4 attendees. John Sales, you're on with the task force. You'll have to unmute your microphone.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Sales. I'm the Executive Director of the Housing Authority. I just wanted to mention that I would love to get a meeting together with the Housing Authority, some of our key management personnel to talk about how we could play a role in the CDBG task force for Ridge Street, since we are probably the largest landowner in the Ridge Street community. So we would love to play a larger role in the overall task force. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk.
Thank you, John. Okay, I see no more hands raised. So are we all set to adjourn the meeting?
Sure.
Well,
And you're going to send us a PowerPoint.
Yes, I'm going to send you the PowerPoint, the worksheet. And if you guys have any questions in the meantime, feel free to send them my way and I can get those addressed. Does this meeting time work for you all?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll shoot for that for next month. And we can talk dates over email. All right, thank you guys for joining.
Thank you, Erin.
Everyone. Enjoy your evening.
Bye, Kim. Glad you're back home.
Hi, Pat. Not for long, but I'm back. Yeah, my mom's 96, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Being alone is not her favorite thing. She's usually very social. So, yeah, I'm going to go back.
All right. Good to see you.
Yeah. You too.